Hello everyone and welcome to this new tutorial dedicated to the Macintosh world. It has been a while since the last time I did something like this in English. That's why I thought that this is the right moment to start again with this habit. In this session, I would like to talk about how to create a locked folder on your Mac. Talking about this, you should know that you can encrypt a single document, a single file, by choosing to set a particular password for that particular file. For example, if I open Microsoft Word, you can save the document, you can write whatever you want to on your document, and then you can save the document, like for example private, and then you have to choose options, show everything. Here when it says security, you have to set a password for this particular document. For example, I don't know, an easy one, and then you can click on OK. You have to confirm the password, and that's it. You can save the document with a password. And as you can see, it has a lock on the icon, so that if you want to open this particular document, you have to insert the password you previously set for it, like this. And that's it. But this works only on one particular document, on one particular file. Let's say you want to create a folder protected by a password, so that you don't have to set a single password for every single document that you put into that folder. In that case, you have to create a locked folder, and you can do that by using utility disk. But if you don't know how to reach it, it's very easy. In the Finder menu, you have to go on Go, Application, Utilities, and here into Utilities you can find the Disk Utility program. All you have to do is to open Disk Utility. Okay, once in the main screen of the Disk Utility, you can see you have very different options here on the top bar. Verify, burn, mount, eject, and so on. You just have to click on New Image, select a name for this new folder, for example, I don't know, private stuff. You can give it a tag if you want to, but it's not necessary. Of course, you have to specify where you want to save this particular folder, and of course you can put it everywhere on your Mac and even on iCloud, but just for practical reasons I'm putting this particular folder on the desktop. Then you can specify again the name of your folder, private stuff. Okay, now you have to select a size for this folder, because what OS X is going to do is to treat this particular folder like it was, I don't know, a removable USB drive that you have practically into your Mac. It's like a virtual USB drive, a removable one, so you have to select the size. Of course, you can choose between several classic sized, or you can click on custom and choose your own size. For example, I don't know, if I think about a classic USB drive, I can specify 8 gigs. Okay. Of course, you have to select the file system, and even though you can select whatever you want to, I strongly recommend to use the macOS Extended Journal, because this is the native file system for a Mac, so it will work in the best way if you use this one. You can choose a particular encryption for your file, 128 is the most common, is recommended, as you can see, and it has a certain amount of security. 256-bit is more secure, but it's slower. And honestly, unless you have a very big secret to hide, doesn't make any sense to choose 256-bit. You can easily go on the 128-bit and believe me, you won't have any problem. Here in partition, you can just leave the single partition GUID partition map, because this is the most classic. An image format. Even in this case, you leave the read-write disk image because it's the most useful for me. So you just have to click on create, and as you can see, the system asks you for a password. Oh, by the way, the first thing you have to do is to uncheck this one, because if you leave this one checked, practically you are telling the system to leave the password memorized. It's like when you put your password into your Facebook profile and you ask to the system to remember it. So practically every time you open your Facebook profile, you don't have to digit the password. But in this case, it doesn't make any sense to set a password. So uncheck this one, because your main idea is to create a private locked folder that you need a password for. So you can set your own password, and you can see that the system tells you how strong or how weak your password is. From this to something like this. Or you can ask the system to generate an automatic password like this. But of course, you have to remember that if you forget the password, you have no way to enter into this folder. So again, unless you have a very big secret to keep, it doesn't make any sense to choose something like this. It's not your bank account, you know. So you can just choose something that you create with your own mind, so that you are sure, more or less, that you will remember it. And then you click on OK. Now, practically, everything is done. You can close this utility. As you can see, the system is creating the image of this particular folder, and it's practically a DMG file. It's like a program. It's like an external USB drive that you connect to your Mac. As you can see, 8 gigs is quite big, so it's taking a while. We are almost done, as you can see. And that's it. As you can see, the icon is exactly the same as an external USB drive, and you have to treat it exactly like it was an external USB drive. So if you want this one to disappear, you just have to close it by clicking eject, or alternatively you can drag it to the trash. That's it. Now you have this private folder that no one can access to. So if you want to open it, you just have to double click on it, insert of course the password that you previously set for it, click on OK, and this is your private stuff. As you can see, this is a normal window. You can create whatever you want and put into it. And you can treat it like it was a classic USB drive, but you know that no one can access to this particular file that you put into this private stuff folder. If you close it, the only way to retrieve the documents you previously put into this folder is by inserting the password. So this could be useful if you have something to hide, something personal, your diary, or I don't know, whatever. Whatever you have that you need to keep secret, you can just create a folder like this and treat it like an external removable USB drive. Okay, hope you enjoyed. See you next time.